A tropical island and coral reefs in the South Pacific. This is France, French Polynesia. Its capital, Papeete, on the island of Tahiti. Since the days of first European contact, Westerners have been journeying here in mind or spirit to recapture the lost innocence of a primitive paradise. This legend remains a dream for tourists, secluded in luxury hotels. The reality is that French Polynesia is being drawn more and more into a consumer economy, French language and culture. Many metropolitan French are attracted here by low taxes, the leisurely island life, and a variety of government work on which the Tahitian economy now depends.
Les manières à pied, la plus légère insulte, le moindre ricanement. Mon fils. Mon père.
But there has been a reaction, a regeneration of Polynesian culture which would recapture traditional values, even when using modern technology.
Mets-toi un peu là.
C'est prêt pour moi.
Prêt? Moteur.
Ça tourne.
Ah non.
14, 2 bis 1.
A high chief of Tahiti is to be enthroned. The ceremony is reenacted each year, and this year it's being filmed under the direction of Tahitian poet Henri Hiraud.
Maintenant, pas pour, hein? Je le fais parce que je pense que c'est l'une des occasions où on peut retrouver un certain nombre de notions importantes de la culture polynésienne, telles que le sacré. Nous n'avons plus cette notion de sacré dans la culture polynésienne d'aujourd'hui, ni dans sa mentalité, ni dans sa spiritualité. Alors il est important pour les Polynésiens, à travers un élément important de sa culture, tel que l'intronisation, de retrouver cette notion du sacré. Le sacré est très important dans la notion, dans la spiritualité polynésienne. Alors que maintenant, tout le monde, tous les Polynésiens n'ont plus cette notion du sacré, sinon celle du christianisme. Le sacré, ça n'appartient qu'au christianisme maintenant. Je voudrais simplement rappeler aux Polynésiens qu'à travers cet événement qui est l'intronisation, qu'il a existé et qu'il peut encore exister la notion du sacré dans la spiritualité polynésienne. Voilà.
The site for the filming is the Great Marae, a ceremonial place of ancient times. The Marae, in Henri Hiraud's poetry, is a place of power which guards against foreign influence, where one can rediscover inspiration. This homage is a challenge to the colonial mentality. Tahitian nationalism may often be superficial, but there appears now to be a growing commitment to it.
It was Captain Cook who took the word tattoo back to the world. It was called tatau. And the priest, the learned person who is a tattoo is called a taua tatatau in Tahitian, which means this.
Tavana is accorded high chiefly status. He made a fortune in Hawaii's tourist industry. Now he's returned to his homeland and shares a simple life and traditional dwellings with a young couple.
I hope you come for the launching.
This is Reipu here with her baby, and a sculptor and canoe builder they call Matai.
There are some pictures of this thing. It goes on your head, you wear it on a top knot, and then it's stuck in it. And that's the emblem of the main guy who does the main tattooing of the high people. Of course, since the foreign influence, a lot of the stuff was, tattooing was destroyed for a long time, so it's a very controversial subject that I've restored.
Why was it lost? Who would have prevented it from being continued?
You know. I'm not going to say it because they'll all attack me next week, for sure.
All the same, it's no secret that some of the church don't approve of what these people are doing. But Matai and Repu here want their children to be proud of their birthright.
What's the name of the child?
Orofena de Tahiti. It means Orofena, the head of Tahiti. It's the name of my mother's family, who was one of the greatest family in Tahiti. Orofena is the name of the highest mountain in Tahiti. And we used to own it once. It would be a bit difficult now to ask for the mountain back.
We're just going to tattoo this young man. His name is Popo Anau. And he's from the island of Tubuai. They have their own designs. But we're going to do more work on him because he's sort of like an apprentice to us. Matai here is an expert tattooer himself, but he's just wiping today. But normally Popo does the wiping. He does the wiping.
And could you indicate where he's going to
Well, he'll have it around his ankle, he'll have it here, he'll have a belt here, and he'll have bands on his arms and on his wrists.
And how long do you go on for each person?
Well, it depends on each person is different. Some people are stronger than other people. People who've been in the sun, skin is a bit tougher than the people who just stay inside an office. So I prefer to the people who've been in the sun because their skin is more tough.
And they can take more pain?
Not really, but they can, it absorbs the ink better. Well, the pain of the tattooing exemplifies the bravery of the men. Maoris did it a tremendous amount on their face, a tremendous agony, because I know I've been tattooed by the old traditional way. And it's,
What sort of pain is it?
well, if you've ever been stung by a bee, it's like about 40 stinging you at once. The person who's doing the tattooing is usually the taua or the tufunga, has to concentrate fiercely on the skin because once the ink goes in the skin, you can't take it out. So if there's a mistake on the person being done, they won't like it very much. With people yelling and screaming and running around and kids screaming and yelling, playing around and noise, machine noise and things distracts from all the work. So you need a place of complete tranquility and quiet to do the work.
And is this related to tradition as well?
Of course. When I was tattooed in Samoa with Teve, there was no noise allowed whatsoever. No one was allowed to come around except paramount chiefs or high chiefs or people of high rank to watch. And they never said a word. They had the highest respect for the tattooer, the priest. And they just hold them in the highest esteem. There are lots of taboos involved, especially if you use the kernel of the Tahiti, which in English is called the candle nut, then a great deal of taboos go along with the tattooing, much more than if you just use the charcoal like we're using. Like high-ranking people are done with Tahiti.
Are people in Tahiti becoming more aware of their culture, their roots? Polynesian culture seems to have come back in some way. There's dancing, tattooing in the canoes.
All right, the tattooings in the canoes are brought up by Matai and myself. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to take the credit for restoring that. The dancing has always been going on, but not in the great class, because it is not us making the dancing coming back. It's the tourists making the dancing come back. That's how I became powerful in Hawaii.
Does that mean money?
Money. No money, no dancing.
Why is that necessary?
Because it takes money to make the costumes. It takes money to get people getting their trucks to go and collect the leaves up in the mountain. The leaves are no longer growing around here anymore.
It seems that in that case, the Tahitian dancing is in something of a bind, that it needs the tourists, but the tourists are in some way a trouble and they to them.
The tourists are no trouble at all. I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, they're no trouble at all. It's the tourists who make Otak survive, the cultural center survive. It's the tourists who make things go around.
Moi Wei won the contest for Best Solo Dancer 2 years ago at the Ture Festival.
Wind is changing now.
She lives with Karine Cowan. For a young woman of Papeete, she's quite well off.
Je peux avoir du pain, s'il vous plaît?
Like many French Polynesians, Moi Wei and her parents came here from an outlying island, attracted by the prospect of town life and employment. Sometimes she dances in a troupe at a tourist hotel, but now she's rehearsing a theatrical show.
Donc on essaye le coup là. Vous deux, vous partez là-bas. Donc, main droite. J'ai l'habitude de faire de l'autre côté, mais là on change le truc. Comment alors 3, 4, ok? 3, 4. Attends. Donc, maintenez les 4, hein? Ok. Non, vous nous laissez faire alors là. Ok? Sinon, vous avez trop de temps avec la musique là. Ok. Dale, batale, io me ne. Vedi, dato come già
Oui, bien sûr, il faut que je danse.
And where? And who?
Maybe with Coco again.
Coco ou Michel?
Ben, surtout Michel et Coco. Oh!
It's a tourist show at one of Tahiti's luxury hotels. This group is Tamayava, well known by the locals for its high standards. Some of the other groups are more commercialized. These dancers aren't here for the money, which is little enough. It's more to keep in practice. Moi Wei says Tamayava is a warm, friendly group, and this is what inspires her dancing.
Pour moi, danser, bon, je crois bien que la Polynésienne aime danser. Il y a là ça dans le sang, la danse.
Karim is a dedicated canoeist. Canoe clubs hold a series of regattas which, like Tahitian dancing, culminates each July in the Ture Festival. Canoe racing is another quite conscious expression of Polynesian identity. Karim and Matai lash on the outrigger of a three-man canoe. Matai is building a twin-hulled canoe, which will retrace the great voyages of discovery to New Zealand in ancient times. Matai is a Maori. He's come from New Zealand, bringing with him the logs for the hulls, which can no longer be found in Tahiti.
How long did it take you to get the logs?
6 long years. From 1973 to 1979, I wrote very polite letters to all the administrators. I had interviews with art sponsors, and they didn't really agree with the project because they thought I was a dreamer.
Well, actually, this is just rough sketches.
Francis Cowan is expedition leader. His fascination with Polynesian navigation has already taken him on a journey by raft from Tahiti to South America.
And this is the bow. Don't mistake it for the stern. This is the stern. And this ancient sail design was particular to French Polynesia, to this area, which was found nowhere else in the Pacific. And I did build a canoe using that type of sail just to check, see how it worked. And it's perfect for sailing into the wind. You can sail close hold with this kind of sail. I intend to sail from Tahiti to the Leeward Island to pay a call on the original meeting place of the Maoris, which was Raiatea. And in Raiatea, there's the biggest marae of Polynesia. From there, we are sailing to Cook Islands, Rarotonga, where they still recall the passage of the 7 canoes that first migrated to New Zealand.
1,000 years ago, all the knowledge of my race, the Maoris, was put on a sailing canoe. It became a sailing university, and the knowledge of that university was transported from this island, Tahiti, to the island which my ancestors inhabited. So,
New Zealand.
The island of New Zealand. These are what you call sideboard paddles, which is European terms a keel. You have 4 sets. They're lashed on the side of the canoe and different depths in the sea for steerage. It's a self-steering device.
This is the material which will be used for our sails. And they were specially plated for this canoe by the people from Rurutu Island, that's in the Austral group south of Tahiti, where they specialize in this handicraft. I can tell you, although it looks weak compared to modern materials, it is very, very efficient.
The deck or the platform is this high above the hulls, and these 2 panels here fit as decoration on the side of the deck.
And there'll be boards up here?
Yeah, we have 2 sets of sideboards that make up the height of the hull to this height, and then we have the platform or the deck. And we use these as decoration, ancestral decoration for the canoe.
And you're using any nails, belts, metal belts?
Nothing metal at all. We're using hand-made nails. There's about 10,000 nails to be put to hold the canoe together, as well as the lashings.
But I'm pretty sure that we can sail to the North Island and hopefully to the Bay of Islands.
My long efforts to enrich the fast-dying culture of my people is in complete opposition to Christian thought because of what I represent. The reunifying of tribes, where I feel the Christian belief has reduced us in believing that we are sinners and that we are by nature evil. I don't believe that in man. Most of the people that have opposed me on building this canoe, that's why it's taken 10 years, have been Christians, because they've told me that my work is the work of the devil.
In dance, too, the church had a particular attitude to dance. What sort of attitude was that?
Oh, because of the gestures were sexual, and because the form of dance was related to cannibalism, and yet if you translate the words of the dance and the movements of the dance, it's either to the sky or to the earth or to the sea. Three elements of nature. So I think the church has misinformed the Polynesians that their background and their philosophy of life was wrong. I don't think so.
The Ture Festival. Dance groups from Tahiti and other islands vie for honours in 7 nights of dancing. Each group presents a program of song and dance on a chosen theme, a Polynesian myth or a comment on contemporary life. These are nights of excitement, high hopes and good humour. The Ture Festival has increased awareness of the Polynesian tradition. But with the strong pressures of westernisation, the issue remains. How real is the regeneration of Polynesian culture?
La réalité, elle est toute, elle a une signification aujourd'hui, mais elle n'est pas encore aussi importante. C'est-à-dire qu'il y a un groupe de jeunes, il y a quelques jeunes, il y a un groupe de jeunes, il y a quelques personnes peut-être avec qui j'ai pu discuter en ce qui concerne la culture polynésienne, qui sont aujourd'hui en éveil en ce qui concerne la culture polynésienne. Il y a une prise de conscience qui commence à naître. Nous sommes dans la naissance de la prise de conscience. Nous ne sommes pas encore dans le développement de la culture polynésienne pour permettre à la culture polynésienne de gérer sa propre vie, de gérer son propre mode de vie. Nous ne sommes pas encore là. Nous sommes à la naissance. Et je crois que quand une chose est nette, il faut qu'elle pousse.